Greetings! Well, we're into the last days of August 2018, and I thought it was a good time to share another recipe. Boy, is it hot in Sacramento. But that's helped the garden out a lot, and it's provided us a bounty of fresh vegetables and fruit, with the melon patch doing especially well this year. But now let's indulge into some deep-fried goodness in the way of lumpia, the Filipino deep-fried spring roll, and gyoza, the Japanese pan-fried dumpling. Let's get to it. Here are the wrappers that we use to make our spring rolls and dumplings. They can be found in the frozen section of most Asian markets. Make sure that the lumpia wrappers state that they are paper thin. This is what you want for that thin, multi-layer, phyllo dough-like consistency that gives you that amazing crispy crunch. The gyoza wrappers are also thinner than standard wonton wrappers. The meat used in both the lumpia and gyoza is freshly ground pork. We used a pound of this to make 30 lumpia and a half pound to make 50 gyoza. The two appetizers also share nearly the same vegetable ingredients. Here we have Napa cabbage, carrots, ginger, garlic, green onions, and yellow onions. Cremini mushrooms were added to the lumpia mix. You can use any or all of these vegetables to your liking, or availability to what you have on hand. The gyoza mix can handle all the aforementioned vegetables, as well as some additional water chestnuts or bamboo shoots if you want more crunch to the filling. Shiitake mushrooms and garlic chives are also common gyoza ingredients. I like the mix of meat to vegetables to be about 50-50. Here are the wet and dry ingredients for the gyoza. Sake is traditionally used, but I only had Shaoxing cooking wine on hand. Oyster sauce, ground pepper, sesame oil, soy sauce, and sugar. Potato starch to help bind the ingredients. The lumpia only uses soy sauce, cooking wine, sesame oil, and pepper for the wet ingredients. Add salt to taste, but remember that salt is already in the soy sauce and cooking wine. The lumpia mixture is cooked before rolling. This assures that the pork will be already cooked through and will only have to think about getting the wrappers perfectly golden brown when deep frying. Now just let the mixture cool. Let's roll some lumpia. Resist the temptation to overfill your rolls. You can see that the wrappers are very thin, yet really strong. A little beaten egg seals the roll-up. It's important to get the sides folded in carefully to seal the filling in and avoid the leaking of liquid into the hot oil during frying. There are many types of deep frying oil. Just as long as the oils with high smoke points are used, there really isn't too much difference in taste. Don't overheat your oil. Somewhere around 350 degrees or a bit lower seems to be right to be able to control the cooking. Turn the lumpia to get the rolls evenly browned. Lumpia is associated with Filipino cuisine, but most likely originated in China. Variants of the spring roll can be found throughout Asia and Indonesia. Now it's time to enjoy what we've made. We'll eat what we've cooked and freeze the rest for another meal. Bottled sweet chili sauce is delicious and simple and can be found in any Asian market.
What do you think?
Oh, these are terribly wonderful. Here are the ingredients going into the gyoza filling. I really didn't make precise measurements, and you can vary the amounts according to your taste. But what we have is about a ½ pound of ground pork, 3 or 4 cloves of chopped garlic, some chopped ginger, some chopped green onions, 1/4 cup of carrots, 1/4 cup of onions, about ½ cup of Napa cabbage, or regular green cabbage if you prefer. The wet ingredients would be a tablespoon of soy sauce, a tablespoon of oyster sauce, a tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, which I substituted for sake, and some sesame oil. And the dry ingredients would be a teaspoon of sugar and a tablespoon of potato starch. Also, we have a pinch of ground pepper and a pinch of dashi. As a side note, I thought I'd mention my new serving tray. It looks pretty ordinary, right? If you think it's made of plastic, you'd be wrong. It's made of this. That's right, same thing as these. So it kind of makes you wonder, if they can make this out of bamboo, why can't they make this out of bamboo? Or this, or this, or even Corvette bodies. Let's make the gyoza filling. Knead the ground pork until it's a little bit gooey. And add your wet ingredients. Soy sauce, Shaoxing wine, guess that's the sesame oil. Here's the Shaoxing wine. And the oyster sauce. Give this a little mix. Then comes the ginger and the garlic. Pinch of dashi and pepper. Sugar. Onions. Carrots. Green onions. Napa cabbage. And the potato starch. Okay, call that good. Now I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap. And I'm going to put that in the fridge for about ½ an hour, let it come together. Now, unlike the cooked lumpia filling, the gyoza filling will go in raw. There's a smaller amount of filling going in these, and the fry, steam, fry cooking process will fully cook the pork. I like to put a measured amount of filling in to keep their size consistent. I wet the inside edges, fold in half, and start crimping one side. In origami, this is called a pleat fold. Although I'm a fairly advanced origami folder, I certainly make no claim to be a whiz-bang gyoza folder. I'll bet there are chefs out there watching this and chuckling at my clumsiness. In the time I take to make one, they could probably produce 5 perfect ones. But then again, I bet they can't play piano like I do. Okay, I think you get the idea how to fold these little guys. I'll keep plugging away until either the filling or wrappers run out. With any luck, that'll happen at the same time, and the last melon baller of filling will find its home in the last wrapper. I'll freeze most of these and reserve 10 or so for the gyoza frying segment of the video. Okay, let's cook some gyoza. I'm going to use a method I call fry, steam, fry. I'm going to lightly oil the pan and brown them on one side lightly. Then we're going to steam the gyoza for 5 or 6 minutes, and then we're going to finish up with another light browning fry that's going to make them nice and crispy. Let's get started. Not too much, just enough to cover the pan. I'm going to try not to touch these gyoza once they're in place. Okay, meanwhile I'm heating up some water. We're going to get that to boiling, and it'll be right at about right temperature when we start to steam them. You much just want to get the pan nice and hot so that the boiling water starts steaming them right away. Now we'll add the boiling water and cover. Turn the heat down a bit. We're going to want that water to completely evaporate before we put any more oil and continue the frying process. 5 or 6 minutes at least. We'll watch it. And if there's more water left in there than I want at the end of the process, we'll pour a little out. Okay, so the water is absorbed. It's time to add a little bit of sesame oil. Finish the frying process. So for presentation, let's get these guys with the brown side up, facing the right direction. There we go. Okay, so let's make the dipping sauce. It's pretty simple. tablespoon soy sauce, as we're going to warm up, and some Chinese black vinegar. A little more soy. That's good. And there are our finished gyoza. Let's give them one a try.